Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in this video, we are talking all about interior design mistakes that are just boring. They're making your house look boring, and I hate to see it. Anything boring when it comes to design, yes, is actually offensive to me. And the first thing we have to talk about that is making your house look boring and is an easy fix is that you are using all of the same wood tone everywhere. And I think there's a fine line, you know, it's gotta be an understanding here between us that I like when everything built in a house has the same wood tone. The floors, the cabinetry, all of that can be the same wood tone. It's a good base. But then let's layer in something else when it comes to the furnishings, the decor, the accessories. That's a good place to bring in a second wood tone because it creates depth, it creates layers. There's, you know, this area of design that's like hyper design where it's super focused on everything being absolutely perfect, and it feels staged, it feels inauthentic to do that because it doesn't feel like anybody lives there. But mixing wood tones actually does. It makes a space feel very warm, welcoming, it makes it feel curated and like it's been developed over time. And that's not to say if you already have wood tones in your home, they have to be changed so they're all the same and then you can accessorize with different ones. You can actually mix different wood tones in your home as well, but look at, okay, this floor, that cabinetry, or the trim in the house everywhere, it's different than the floors. Okay, cool. How do we layer that in? We bring in other accessories, other furniture pieces that have one of those two same wood tones. I never suggest using more than two wood tones because I think it can make a space feel busy. It's actually pretty difficult to find multiple wood tones that have the same base tone to them, and I think sticking to two is a safe bet. I also personally think that mixing wood tones together or using different pieces from different eras or design styles that are the same wood tone can actually make a space feel very elevated. Have a look at this photo here where we have this great grandfather clock in this light wood tone, and it actually pulls from this mid-century modern piece that is in a similar one. And because of the same wood tone, they feel very interesting together. They feel layered. You can actually see a lot of the detail in them, but they don't stand out as being two completely different style of pieces. It feels a little eclectic, but it feels natural almost. So I think mixing different wood tones together makes a home feel interesting. And if you're just doing one thing all over the place, the space can definitely feel a little flat and a little boring, and maybe it needs a little love. If it does need that little bit of love, well, have no fear because I am here for you. You can actually book a one-on-one consultation with me using the link in the description box down below to answer any and all of your design and decorating questions. Something else that makes your home look boring is actually when everything is brand new, when everything is, you know, generic. Okay, we just don't like that. It's boring to me. I don't want to see absolutely everything brand new. Oh, it's from this drop, that collection, this place, that, like, girl, I know where you shop. Okay, I got it. You got everything from there. You went in, you bought everything all at once, or you saw the catalog and you were like, great, that room looks good. Let me buy up everything in the picture. I don't like that. It's boring to me. It doesn't speak to originality or personality. And I think that's what matters in a home, is that it reflects who you are. I don't think it has to be the latest, the greatest, the trendiest thing, you know, like the trolls and the rats like to say that everybody likes, okay? I don't personally believe that. I like things that are interesting, that are unique and different. My house is not like every other influencer's house because, hey, maybe that's what's in at the moment, but guess what? It's gonna be dated in 6 months and then I'm gonna have to get rid of everything and redo it again. Absolutely not. I'm actually busy, so I don't have time to redo everything in my house to be on trend. My things that are high quality and were expensive last me, and I think that's what matters. So mixing things that are new, that are good quality, that you see you really like, that's great. I have plenty of things that were purchased brand new in this house, but I also have plenty of things that are vintage, that are antique, that create character in my home, that speak to what I really like and the things I enjoy. And also I think there's a thrill in the hunt of antiquing, like, you know, finding cool and interesting things that are different, unique, and nice places to shop, and vendors who you like that offer good things or have a really great eye for finding pieces. That matters. And I think that's the enjoyment. Decorating your home should not be a rush. It doesn't have to be turnkey ready tomorrow to move in. So take your time and find things that really speak to you and what you like and enjoy. Don't get every single thing brand new. And I don't think you have to buy everything antique or old either. It's a mix of the two. I personally like brand new upholstered furniture because having things reupholstered, it's expensive. They have to be delivered and moved and all of this. You have to find all of the upholstery, but sometimes that's what you need to do. I like brand new drapery because I'd like it to be custom and fit a certain way. But when it comes to, tables like my desk here in my studio, I bought something that was older, that has character, that has craftsmanship that we just don't see today. So I think there's lots of things out there that are interesting and you should have a look at to create layers and depths in your home. Get inspired by what you see out there and online and in images and pictures, and then say, what's my version of it? What's my take on this? How can I find this? Or is that a good deal? Is it better somewhere else? What's out there? I think taking that time and doing that research builds a home that feels personal and feels like someone lives there, not like it's boring, everything is brand new and a little bit generic. Speaking of generic and speaking of things that make your home look boring, what I don't like and I think also makes your home look very boring is a generic builder grade matching lighting set. No. I don't like that. First of all, I talked about this in a video that was all about, great upgrades for builder grade homes. And I kind of said, there are certain things your builder is buying in bulk and in advance and they have a lot of on hand, and lighting sets are one of those things because lighting is not cheap. So, to get a lot of it, you can buy a lot of it and get a big discount on it, whatever, if you're going through a dealer or something. So all of the homes in your neighborhood are probably gonna have the same lighting. And that's okay, but lighting is a great place to add personality to your home. It's a great place to add style to your home. And you can really set the mood of any space with the correct type of lighting. Whether your style is, English cottage or, ultra modern contemporary, we can take the same space and make one of them feel really modern and one of them feel really traditional just by using lighting. So I like to see lighting that's used in an interesting way that's layered. But when it comes to the fixtures, I do like to see them be somewhat cohesive, but that doesn't mean matching. I'm looking for a thread that connects all of them. For example, I had a client, we did all new lighting in her home and it came out beautifully, but we looked for pieces that reference back to her design style. And we took inspiration from that. We said, okay, this is what the overall vibe is. This is what we're looking for that has this feeling. And then we said, here's the hardware color. We're gonna use all the same hardware color and different style fixtures. That way they feel cohesive and they have that thread that connects them in terms of the design style. But some of them were lantern style. Some of them were actually, glass fixtures. And we also had some that were really grand scale and big, and they look beautiful. So you can find a lot of different fixtures that have that same hardware finish, and that's that cohesive element you need. And no matter what your style is, if you find a fixture that, has a little wood accent or detail, okay, great, but maybe it has metal or maybe it has shades on it. Now let's pull that and bring it into some other spaces as well. I will, however, say that I think there's a time and a place for that standout fixture that doesn't match anything and isn't cohesive. And I think that's for a space that is a standalone kind of moment or feature. Like if you have a library or a study or an office and it's painted a dark, moody color while everything else is bright, that's the place to do that really different feature. Maybe everything else in the house is black, and then in that room we do brass, just so it stands out. It feels different. It feels like we're in a different house or in a different space. That makes sense in that room. Also, something like bedrooms. If your kids like a themed bedroom, that's a good place to look for a light fixture that's fun, that's quirky, that fits that vibe or that theme without it being too obnoxious in your face or on the nose. But that's, a topic for another video. Also, when it comes to light fixtures, the bigger the better. Go big, go home. I like an oversized light fixture that's hung somewhat closer to the ceiling. I don't like anything that's kind of in my head space. So keep that in mind when you are picking those new fixtures for your home. Look for something that's large to really fill up the space and be the correct scale to balance the proportions of the room. I'm glad I shared that little light fixture selection tip with you, and that is what I am always doing in these videos as a, professional trained interior decorator. That's what I do, which is why if you are looking for any of those tips, tricks, hints, or hacks, you should definitely hit the subscribe button. You've made it this far in this video. You are obviously liking what you are hearing and seeing and listening to or whatever. So be sure you join us, hit that subscribe button, become a part of the LeChic family. I would also greatly appreciate it if you'd give this video a like. Something else that makes your home feel boring and you can correct and, within reason we can work on is your paint. And specifically when your house is all the same color. Ooh, I know there are so many designers out there. There are so many people out there. There's so much on social media where people are like, this is the perfect color white for your house. Why does every room have to be the same color though? Why does it all have to be white? Every single thing? No. You can take the public areas of your home and paint them one color, one, continuous color everywhere. And I think that's great. But some of those defined spaces in rooms, do something interesting with them, okay? Just because the living room is white doesn't mean the dining room has to be, the kitchen has to be, the hallways have to be, your bedroom has to be, the kids' rooms have to be. Oh, please, give us something interesting. Every room in your house does not have to be the same color. And there's a time and a place for it. Like, if I'm renting a place, I'm not gonna paint all of the walls different colors. That's what I do in my home because it's mine. But if you're renting it, you don't have to go crazy and do wild stuff all over the place. Hey, I still would because I'm not afraid of repainting some space the white color I got it from the landlord from, but leave it for that space that everything is white because it can be interesting, it can be unique, but when we see too much of the same thing, it's so boring. So in your home, do something interesting. Give me a cool color. Paint the ceiling. I love it, love a painted accent ceiling right now, but give me interest. Give me something different. Don't just give me the same color everywhere. Nobody likes to see it. It's just boring. It's generic. It feels impersonal. And okay, there's something to be said for you liking a bright, fresh feeling space. Do something that shows your personality a little bit. And even if that means you pick a neutral color, that's good. Like I'm talking about, don't paint your spaces all white sitting in a white room. The room isn't actually white. Some of the other spaces in my home, like the living room, foyer, all of my upstairs hallway, that's all white because it all connects. There's no natural division or a place to change the paint color. So I keep it all the same. This room is actually an off-white color that stands out when you see it against the trim because it's not white and it has just a little bit of variation. It's a creamier tone that works beautifully. That's enough. That's enough to do it. Just give me something different. Most of the spaces in my home are actually painted moodier or more vibrant colors. I love blue, I love green, so I have some of that happening in other areas that maybe I don't want to have in the background of a video every time because it could be a little bit overwhelming. So have some variation in your home. Do something interesting. Give us a moment. Tell us who you are. What's your favorite color? Paint the wall that color. Doesn't have to be neon, doesn't have to be something wild or crazy. You can choose a muted color and do that in an interesting way or space. Paint your guest bedroom, paint the home office, paint a hallway a unique color. Oh, I love an accent hallway in a home. If you have the opportunity, do it because it's amazing. You want another little pro tip, a hack there? Paint it in a flat paint. Get a high quality flat paint. Paint all of the walls, especially if they're textured because it hides a lot of the depth that's there when you don't have that level of sheen, so it looks a lot flatter. If you have flat walls, level 5 or plaster finish, love that for you. Wish I had it, but even in my home, I don't. So I use a flat paint to make it look a lot smoother on the walls. There's so many tricks and tips and hacks out there, and I can't specifically sit here and say this is the perfect white color for every house because it's different everywhere, but at the end of the day, not every room has to be painted the same color. And don't just be like, oh, well, they're two different shades of white. No, okay, it's all white. Give me a space that's green. Give me a space that's a moodier color. Oh, give me a space that's like a muted lilac. I like that too. Give us interest, give us something unique, and have fun with what you're doing in your house because that's when a home feels like that's when a house feels like a home, when it feels like you, and it tells us something about you. Don't be scared to paint a room because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, it can always be painted back. The next thing that is making your home look boring is that you are taking too much inspiration from social media. Oh, don't come for me, okay? My channel is a safe haven for all design styles and everyone out there and unique individuals. But if you're boring, I mean, it's probably not for you, but you probably didn't make it this far in this video because you have everything on this list. Beside the point, I don't like when I see the same thing every single place. Everywhere, it's in all of the magazines, it's all over social media, and it's like, oh, I'm an interior designer, and we went for this because we wanted something interesting and unique and different. It's the same thing I've seen everywhere, okay? There's nothing original or unique about this. I am so sick and tired of seeing the same thing everywhere. There's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from, you know, another designer or a space you've seen. You know, it just depends on what your home needs and what the space wants and what your style actually is. But be unique, be you. You do not have to copy anyone for anything, for any reason. Don't be like everybody out there. It's the masses of people. We're all doing the same thing at the same moment in time. I'm so tired and sick of it. I try my hardest to be myself and original. If I see something I like, I don't particularly care how it's gonna read online or what anyone else is gonna say about it, because you don't live in my house and I don't live in yours. So we want our houses to feel like us, to feel like what we like. I do not think you have to get sucked into trends. I do not think that you have to be something you're not, or this is the latest thing, my house has to look like that. No, don't just be like, this is what I saw on social media, this is what I see everywhere. That's called peer pressure, and you do not have to fall victim to it. So don't give me the same thing I've seen in every design magazine, on every social media influencer's page. Like, I swear, some people are just so afraid to be themselves. And let me tell you what, me being myself probably holds me back a little bit on YouTube or online or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be authentic in who I am than live in a generic box that somebody else designed 5 years ago and that everybody has convinced themselves is great. Like, you know, if I have to see the same thing every single day, it better feel like me. It better inspire me. So sure, is my style for everybody? No, but guess what? There's me, my husband, and my dog that live in this house. So we're gonna live in our house the way we want to and the way we like it, and you should too. If you see something out there you like, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from it, because there may be some really great design idea featured in that, you know, will really change your home and change your life for the better. Remember, especially when it comes to interior design, but in every aspect, individuality is everything. Now, while individuality is everything, there are some times when you can go wrong. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. But if you want to avoid those times, be sure you watch this video right over here all about interior design mistakes ruining your house. And maybe you need it, maybe you don't, but you should still check it out. So I will see you over there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.